when evaluating the NFC, there's a lot of different discussions on who's the number 2 team in the entire conference. It's pretty clear at this juncture that the Philadelphia Eagles should be the favorites to win the NFC. On that note, however, there's a large discussion, what's that second team? Now, kind of looking at some of the teams by record that make sense in this spot, you have the Minnesota Vikings, you have the Dallas Cowboys, you have the New York Giants, and then, look at NFC West right now. Seattle record-wise is hanging right in there. So when you're looking at those teams, that makes sense. But now let's kind of look at it from an actual roster perspective and how we think they're going to fare the rest of the season. Another team that you do have to bring up in these discussions, in my opinion, is the San Francisco 49ers. When you look at the San Francisco 49ers, the run game is a big part of what they try to do. Week in, week out, they love to run the football and go out of play action as well. But I kind of look at it, Christian McCaffrey is that player that can help take them to new heights in this offense. He's so versatile. He's able to run the ball effectively, catch passes out of the backfield. You can line him up in the slot. He is such a good route runner. This is a player that is a very high impact guy. So I think San Francisco definitely deserves to be in this discussion. We've seen Shanahan do it before. Take a guy like Jimmy Garoppolo, make the system catered to him, and really perform at an exceptional level in terms of where they can take this team. Now, Jimmy G is an average quarterback, average to below average. However, for what they're trying to do, he is going to make it manageable. Now, we look at the Minnesota Vikings. I think there are some flaws on this team. The offense to me is not the issue. They went ahead and addressed that at the trade deadline when they acquired TJ Hawkinson. TJ Hawkinson will be a massive addition for this roster. His ability to catch passes, his ability to block, when you look at his yards after the catch as well, there are so many different things that he can add to an offense that Irv Smith was not truly providing. Obviously with Irv Smith's high ankle injury, high sprain, it was going to look like they weren't, really, in a good spot at tight end. In my opinion, you were going to have to roll out Johnny Munt as the starting tight end week in and week out, and that's not very conducive. So I think the Minnesota Vikings are there. They have a super talented wide receiver in Justin Jefferson. They have Dalvin Cook, TJ Hawkinson, Adam Thielen, a variety of playmakers on the perimeter that can definitely hurt you. I think the defense is more of an issue. I do have some reservations about what they are defensively. They've been opportunistic with turnovers, however, therefore letting them win some of those close games. Now, if we think about the Minnesota Vikings last year, they were not generating nearly enough turnovers. This Vikings defense is Ed Donatell's team, on the defensive side of the ball here, generating the turnovers that it needs. However, I'm not blown away by the unit, holistically speaking. Suspect corner play at times. I definitely think that Zadarius Smith was a huge addition to this defense. Now let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys. Phenomenal defensively. A lot of playmakers on that defense, a lot of speed. They do a great job diagnosing plays quickly. You look at the impact of a guy like Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs as well. There's so many different playmakers on this defense that definitely could change the course of the game. I think Dallas's defense is really good. I look at the Dallas offense as something that's kind of a work in progress, trying to get Dak, up to 100%, get him rolling. I think the combination at running back is interesting to me, looking at Ezekiel Elliott, looking at Tony Pollard, two guys that definitely are a nice tandem. You saw what Tony Pollard was able to do with the backfield to himself, a guy that was able to amass, 3 touchdowns in a single game. Tony Pollard played so well. That's why he's towards the top of the league in terms of yards per carry. His ability to hit the home run ball is outstanding, and I like where the offense is when he's in the game. I prefer him over Zeke at this point, which is difficult to say, but I love Zeke, but at the end of the day, Tony Pollard's production is showing that he should probably be the starting back. And now, once again, it's difficult with the financial commitment to Zeke, but at the end of the day, that is another, way to look at it. Now, the New York Giants, discussing them. Wow, the New York Giants, who would have thought at this point in the season we'd be talking about them in this regard? I think that there are some limitations offensively. I don't like the playmakers they have on the perimeter. I really don't. Saquon Barkley is a phenomenal running back, and I think that's kind of where that conversation has to start on, their success the rest of the way, is just continuing to run the ball effectively, get him going early in games, and having Daniel Jones play mistake-free football is the perfect formula for this offense to be good enough. Their defense has been really good. Nevertheless, they've done a great job defensively, throw a lot of different looks at opposing offenses. So I think the New York Giants under Brian Daboll has been a fun experiment. I think they've done a great job. I think that it was the definitely the correct hire when they did it. That's what I was saying, and I'm keeping that same energy. So overall, I like that for them. So now, once again, Dallas, Minnesota, New York. You look at San Francisco, but Seattle's another team we have to talk about because Geno Smith is playing extremely well. They're running the ball effectively. Kenneth Walker is an absolute star in the making, and Seattle did a great job with this past draft here. I'm looking at the young playmakers on the defense. Tariq Woolen is one that you have to keep in mind with his frame, his ability to be a sticky man-to-man defender. You look at his overall long speed, his short area quickness. This is a corner that is going to be a Pro Bowl level guy for many years in his career. And I think you kind of are starting to get some shades of, when that secondary was really, really good during the Legion of Boom. Tariq Woolen is kind of one of those building blocks to getting back to that point. Now, that was a special group of guys, but I look at Seattle as another possibility here. You also have to figure the Rams, if they're able to kind of correct things in the run game. Definitely some issues along that offensive line, but the LA Rams, let's not forget, were Super Bowl champions. They know what the formula takes to get to the big game. Sean McVay, he's done it. He's been to the Super Bowl twice. There's some hope still for me that they're able to make some corrections with this team. So I definitely think the LA Rams should not be forgotten about as well. I mean, Green Bay, another team that would have to really turn it around and get hot and get into a wild card spot. To me, I just don't see it happening. Once again, some issues on the perimeter. So let's figure this out. Who is that other team? The NFC South is to me not a place I want to go. The Falcons, I'm not huge believers in. The Saints, I have my reservations on. The Bucs, another disappointing team. So who is that second best team in the NFC? And that's a loaded question. But to me, I think it's the Dallas Cowboys. I do, when I look at what they have on defense, this is a defense that can make a big, deep playoff run. Dallas offense has been okay, but they haven't been firing on all cylinders. Once again, having Dak back, getting some continuity back in this offense is going to do this team wonders. Obviously, I think that they are built to win right now. So I think Dallas, honestly, is the number 2 team in that NFC. I think you follow that up with the Minnesota Vikings with how many playmakers that they have on offense. It's going to be very tough to stop this unit. So overall, that's kind of my top 3 here. The Giants, they've been playing super well. Obviously San Fran is right there as well. San Fran, I do have some reservations on, with Jimmy Garoppolo, but I think they're another team that could get really hot down the stretch here and put together a nice playoff run. If you did enjoy the video, hit that subscribe button. Also leave a like on today's video if you did enjoy the content. Thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll catch you in the very next Utility Sports video.